Well, short upload today. I was going to do a full thing, and we'll get to that tomorrow, and you'll hear evidence of that. But we got the very sad news that Mr. Carl Weathers himself passed away yesterday, Thursday, February 1st, 2024. His family gave a really nice statement to NBC News, which I'm going to read in its entirety. We are deeply saddened to announce the passing of Carl Weathers. Carl was an exceptional human being who lived an extraordinary life. Through his contribution to film, television, the arts, and sports, he has left an indelible mark and is recognized worldwide and across generations. He was a beloved brother, father, grandfather, partner, and friend. And I gotta say, man, I'm really sad about this one. We'll get to the Star Wars bit in a minute, but for me personally, when I think of Carl Weathers, it's actually not Predator or The Mandalorian or even Rocky that pops into my head first. It's his appearance in Arrested Development. There's still meat on that bone line is like an all-time legendary one. I gotta say though, like, I'm really shocked by this. I mean, he was 76, but for a man who looked as healthy and alive and vibrant as Carl always did, he never felt or seemed 76, and kind of, even if you were to pass away without, I guess, any publicly known illness or anything like that, it's very shocking and very sad, and I was extremely just, I guess, shocked to see the news today. So for those who don't know, Carl quite famously had an NFL and even CFL career before joining the world of acting. His first huge role was Apollo Creed, obviously, in Rocky. Then he'd go on to star in many roles, often action-oriented. Obviously, Predator, one of my favorites. His last movie was actually in Toy Story 4, 2019. But his last role ever was as Grief Karga in The Mandalorian, a show he also directed 2 episodes of, by the way. Carl actually got an Emmy nomination for his role as Grief Karga, and I gotta say, I loved him in the role. Carl was perfect for Star Wars because he walked the line of playing a character seriously enough that they're not a joke, but also realizing that, hey, at the end of the day, we're in Star Wars around knee-high aliens, killer robots, a dude who never shows his face, and he didn't ham it up. I want to make that clear, but he always was appropriate for the role, and I really appreciated that. Like, to have him so early on in the show, episode 1, one of the first scenes, it just added so much credibility to have an established actor who was clearly having fun with the role, who clearly enjoyed what he was doing. It's just, Grief was one of my favorite characters in The Mandalorian. It was always nice to go check up on him, even if maybe you'd rather be off Navarro and moving forward the main story. It was always nice to check in, and I'm just really sad we're never going to see the character again. Obviously, as the show moved on, Grief's role changed. Like, at the beginning, he was very briefly an antagonist. The Mando almost kills him, but he survives, and later on, he becomes an ally, and I hope that Grief is able to, I don't know, just retire. I don't need the character to die in the show. I don't even really need it addressed. Like, he served his purpose, and it was a phenomenal job. I obviously wish there would be more Grief Karga in The Mandalorian going forward. I would have loved to see more of Carl Weathers' like creative input. Like, he seems so young, like he had so much left. But on the other hand, you know, like the press release from the family said, Carl Weathers lived such a full life. He accomplished so much, and you know, we'd all be pretty lucky if we get to live to be almost 80. You know, we learned from Star Wars, life is very precious. Ray Stevenson, 58 when he passed away. Carrie Fisher, only 60. Like, it can be gone in a snap, and these legends, they've been around for so long. I guess that's what happens. But it makes me happy in a way too that The Mandalorian season 3 ended the way it did. You know, peace for everyone. The town's changed. We get the burden somewhat lifted off Grief Karga with the new IG-11 Marshal. I don't know. I'm bummed. Like, I don't know what else to say. I'm bummed. I don't really know what to put up for a donation for today's video. Obviously, we don't know how he passed away, but I was an avid Twitter follower of his. He was a very, very good follow, and he's obviously a huge football guy. So I decided to, down in the description, and I'll put it on the side of the screen if YouTube allows me, a link to the NFL Foundation, which is, according to its own mission statement, dedicated to improving the lives of all those touched by the game of football, from players at all levels to communities across the country. Thanks for watching. Be peace, and may the force be with you.
I thank all of you. From The Mandalorian, we love you!
We love you too!